Good morning, friends. Another day at Miss Winslow's house. Let's get started. Good morning, good morning. Yes, it's time to say good morning. Where we say hello and how do you do to all our friends and teachers too. Good morning, Eva. Good morning, Gianna. Good morning, Mikhail. Good morning, Sierra. Good morning, Aaliyah. Good morning, Colin. Good morning, Dazier. Good morning, Markel. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Dakota. Good morning, Brandon. Good morning, Branson. Good morning, Noah. Good morning, Colton. Good morning, Sky. Hi, Miss Lee. Good morning, Harper. Good morning, Jazada. And good morning, Jemiah. Hello to all my friends. Let's get our greeting for today. I want to send out a big old handshake to each and every one. I miss you guys. Let's get ready to check our weather. What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather out today? What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather out today? It's a nice, bright, sunshiny day. So today is a great day to get on outside after you finish your work and have some fun. Stretch your legs and just enjoy this weather. Let's check our calendar. We are still in the month of May. May, M-A-Y. May the 11th of 2020. And today is Monday. I sure hope yesterday you wished all the mommies a happy Mother's Day. But today is May 11th, 2020 on a Monday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So on this May 11th of 2020, we're going to begin our day and see what our new letter for this week is. Our new letter, super easy. First, let me show you the sign to see if you can guess. O. And in sign, it's just like this. And look at that. It's shaped just like the letter for today. We have capital O, and then smaller, lowercase o. So just like our sign, O. And O says ah, ah, ah. Like other O words, octopus, ostrich, olive. And then there are O words that have the long O sound that sound just like O. Overalls and oval. So just know when you're making your O sound, first is ah, 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 like ostrich and octopus. And sometimes when you're finding O words, it sounds just like the letter O, overall. Let's see if we can find our letter O's here. I see capital O and lowercase o. And the two words we're going to make this morning, the first one is on, O-N, on. And there's a sign for that. You have your arm down and one arm up, and it's like you turn a switch on. You pull it down, and now it's on, on. Our next word with capital O is ocean, O-C-E-A-N, ocean. An ocean is very important to us in our talk today because an ocean is also a habitat. And what we're going to learn today is, what's a habitat? Well, I'll tell you the definition. A habitat is any place living things and non-living things are. So living things like, for example, my dog, he's a living thing, and he lives with or lives in a house, which is a non-living thing. He has non-living things like his food or his water dish, but they help him to survive. And then he lives with living things like himself, like us, people at the house. So we live together with non-living things. Well, a habitat can be many different places. And the one we're going to focus on after the video is the ocean habitat. And I want you to think about what you know about the ocean. So first, friends, let's feed Uncle Bubbles, who happens to live in water. This is his habitat. Good morning, Uncle Bubbles. So his habitat happens to have rocks. Those are non-living things. And the food we just fed him, it's a non-living thing. He's living all in this space. And water is a non-living thing. So right now, guess what? He's the only living thing in his habitat. Well, Miss Winslow is going to get that video for you to show you that water or an ocean is not the only habitat that animals can live in.
A habitat is a home. Look outside your window. What do you see? Is there a forest or a pond near where you live? Forests and ponds are two common habitats. A habitat is a place where plants and animals live and grow. There are many different kinds of habitats in the world. You may have seen grasslands. This habitat is flat and stretches far into the distance. Animals like bison eat the grass. But not all habitats are so flat. The mountain habitat is tall and rocky. Only tough plants like moss can survive up here. Animals that live in the mountains have to be good climbers. Don't look down. A desert is a very dry habitat. It hardly ever rains here. Desert plants have to survive without much water. Plants like cactuses can live a long time without rain. The desert heat is tough on animals. Many of them dig holes underground and stay there all day. At night, when it's cooler, they come out. Finding water is not a problem in the rainforest. It rains a lot here. This habitat is full of trees, flowers, vines, and other plants. The rainforest is also full of animals, birds, frogs, monkeys, and insects live here. Now let's go into the ocean. In some parts of the ocean, bright fish swim around colorful coral reefs. Seaweed drifts in the waves. As you go deeper into the water, it gets colder and darker. Some fish make their own light. Now let's look at one last habitat, the freezing, icy polar habitat. Here, it can get as cold as 100 degrees below zero. It's windy and snowy. The ground is frozen for most of the year. These habitats all have one thing in common. They are all homes for plants and animals. Now think of your favorite wild animal. What habitat does it live in?
Alrighty, my friends. So that video let us see the different habitats that there are out there. I also have a special book for you that talks about different habitats or homes that animals have made. You may be able to find this book in the library or order it at Scholastic. So let's see some more habitats. Look at this habitat for an ant. We usually see ants make dirt mounds, but these ants have put these leaves together and made a different house or a different habitat to live in. We all know the habitat of a spider, it spins webs so that it can live and catch its food. We just finished talking about insects, and this insect, the bee, makes a honeycomb. And in its honeycomb and hive, it lives. It lays its eggs, or their babies live and grow in there. They also store the honey that they make there. Ooh, the polar habitat. This polar bear has adapted to this habitat because he has thick fur. And remember we talked about the blubber? So the fat helps him stay warm while he lives in this polar icy cold habitat. Here's a desert habitat. This fox lives in this desert dry place, and he builds or burrows into the ground to stay cool. Oh, there's a bird in the tropics. Have you ever seen a nest look like this? They're long, dangling nests. This bird made his house with the straw and the grass, so now he's able to live in this house. So my friends, if you find this book, you can see all different kinds of homes and habitats that these animals have made so that they can live. The clownfish, he's an ocean water animal, and his habitat is an anemone. And I know you know that one from the movie Finding Nemo. All different kinds of habitats. And in the habitat, all different kinds of homes. So this is a great book to see. Not all animals live in the same type of homes. Wow. And look, this turtle, he carries his home. It goes everywhere with him. So no matter what habitat he lives in, he always has his home with him. All right, so that's a good book, my friend. But the main habitat we'll be looking at is the ocean. And this is a great book to see, or to start to see, what do we know or didn't know about the ocean. Great pictures that the photographer took of different kinds of animals that live in the ocean, how they look in the ocean. Ocean. Remember that word, ocean? I told you to think about what you know about the ocean. So let's see if we can write a few things about what we already know about the ocean. Is the ocean dry? No, it's wet. So that's one thing we know. The ocean is wet. Is the ocean made up of sand? Well, just a little. But the ocean itself is all water. Now there's different types of water out there that the animals can live in. There's fresh water and salt water. But guess what? The ocean is made up of salt water. And trust me, friends, you don't want to drink up salt water. Let's see, what else do we know about the ocean? It's not by itself. Things live in it. So animals live there. Now, does a cow live there? No. Cows like to chew on grass, and there wouldn't be enough grass, plus a cow doesn't really know how to swim. Animals that live in the ocean are animals that can swim. Some animals that live in the ocean do come out, like a seal or a sea otter. They can swim and come to the surface, or to the beach, or to the land. But most animals that live in the ocean stay in the ocean. Let's see, what else do we know? Oh, Miss Winslow already said it. The ocean itself, it's super salty. Not the kind of water you want to drink. And what can we do in the ocean? We can swim. We can even catch fish. So you can find food there. So the ocean already has a lot of different things that we know because we've seen it or we've been to the ocean before. So let's see if you can help play this game with me, all about habitats. Since we saw that video, we did see the Arctic habitat. That's a cold, cold place to be. The rainforest habitat, where it's hot but rainy wet. Then there's the desert that's hot and dry. And then there's the habitat that we'll be talking about this week, the ocean, that's full of water, so wet, and the animals live most of the time in the water. Let's take a look at this one. An orangutan. If you've seen monkeys before, this mammal, he climbs trees. So let's see where. The rainforest. Yes, a lot of trees for him to climb, a lot of food to eat. Oh, here's an easy one. A shark. A shark's gonna freeze. Sharks like to swim. Can a shark go to the desert? There's no water. He has to live in the habitat of the ocean. How about the Arctic fox? Remember when we talked about him? And just his name alone, Arctic, means it's a cold place. Just like the Arctic habitat. Tree frog. He likes to stay moist, but he can't swim forever, so he would go to the rainforest. A camel. The desert, my friends. And did you know that a camel stores water in his hump? So even though he can't find the water on land, what he's eaten and the water he has found, he keeps a little right in his body. A dolphin. Ocean needs water all the time. A rattlesnake. In the desert. Easy. Polar bear. We just saw that in the book. He lives in the Arctic. A sloth. Slow-moving creature. He'll live in the rainforest. And he would love the rainforest the best because of the tall trees. Since he moves so slow, he has to stay high away from predators that want to try to catch him and eat him. Starfish in the ocean. A walrus in the Arctic. Scorpion. Desert. There's that Nemo, clownfish. Ocean. Reindeer. Think about it. You've heard stories of Santa, and he lives in the North Pole. So if the reindeer were with him, it would be in a cold Arctic place. A toucan. The rainforest. And last, an ostrich in the desert. So here's just 4 habitats that these animals have adapted or learned to live in because of what helps them survive or what helps them live or how their homes are that work best for them. All the Arctic animals have blubber and thick skin or heavy fur. All of the desert habitat creatures don't need much water They just need a place to hide, like a snake can go underground, or an ostrich can run and get away from anything that's chasing him in a wide open space. A camel doesn't need much water. In the rainforest habitat, these animals, they need a lot of green vegetables or green leaves to eat, and it's plenty there. They need lots of water, like the tree frog, he needs to stay moist, but yet they can't swim or live in the ocean. These animals are in water all the time, so they know how to swim, they can breathe there, they can find their food there. So every habitat works great for these animals and where they need to live. All right, my friends. Well, since we talked about habitats, and you'll know what we'll be talking about the next time, is all about the ocean. When we meet again, we'll be talking about some of the ocean animals that we find in the ocean. So think for me, what ocean animal you might like the best? This is a squid. Here's a shark. There's a dolphin. I have a lobster and an octopus. I even have a stingray, crabs, walrus, a whale, and a seal. All of these creatures are ocean water animals. So when we meet again, we'll talk about how they live there and what animals do live there, how they find their food, and how do they breathe underwater. All right, my friends, you have a great day. Until next time, goodbye, goodbye.